I saw that C was the right one, and I disliked C.
Then you looked up the answer, and you're like, okay.
No, I dislike C, because I feel like I see that type of answer a lot, and it's normally wrong, like saying that there are other, like that other type of thing is like trying to distract.
Scale drawings were commonly used in many types of construction, but what about this type? Yeah. So we have to go with the answer that does the most to help.
Okay.
So let's go through them. A, modern attempts have only been partially successful. Well, did they use scale or not scale? I don't know. It doesn't even talk about that, right? So that's out. Are you cool with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, B, the construction of the temple took place after. That's not good. That weakens it. Well, I don't know if it, I don't know if it weakens it, but it doesn't help, right? Like, okay, we need it to take place before. Scale drawings were common. Okay, so maybe this just I think what C does is it says, look, this wasn't a one-off thing, right? If it were you discover something in a random temple, was this just like the guys who made that temple needed little drawings, and everybody else is like, yeah, that's weird. Like, you know, if we excavate Trump Tower in like 2,000 years, you know, there's gonna be like little drawings everywhere. And we're going to be like, oh, that's how everybody made buildings. But maybe not, you know? Because that's a piece of garbage. Obviously.
Are you saying we're not going to live in buildings anymore?
I don't know. Just saying, if we excavated Trump Tower. D, the surviving columns are almost twice as tall as the ones at the... I mean, I think this is tempting. I think this is the answer that most people... No, was anyone tempted by this? If they were twice as tall at the temple, then maybe if you can do it at the temple and it's twice as big, then you can do it at this place. But it's still not that great. The experience, I don't know how the experience has anything to do with anything. I'm glad they had experience.
Yeah, I picked D. It just sounded...
Made it sound like that project was harder.
Yeah.
And if they could do it with that project, then they could do it with the...
Like it solidified
Parthenon.
the strength of the plan.
Yeah.
So.
I think we still run into the same issue, though, and that is, well, was this a one-off thing?
Right.
Yeah,
And
Abby.
The question of the hypothesis is answering says in precisely the same way. So I looked at twice as tall is not precisely the same way.
Well, I think that when they say precisely the same way, they're saying that when you create those columns, they're the same to each other.
But look at the size.
But I think you'd have a different scale for different
Like
buildings.
Within one building.
Like within one building, they might use that scale for that building and a different scale for another building. So I think that precisely in the same way is just referring to within that building. Yeah. In any case, so then J, it just comes down to C is the best one, even if it's not great. All right, here's the homework.